And today I am joined by one of my very good Eurovision friends and a very special guest who the Maltese audience will very much like to see. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Hello. So I am Valentina Rossi. I'm so happy to be doing this because I have never had the opportunity to be part of something like this to talk about Eurovision with other people that love Eurovision. I am a Malta's Got Talent judge, or I was last week because now the show ended. I am a radio host and I am a highly opinionated person when it comes to Eurovision.
That is what we like to hear. And upstairs?
And upstairs, I can relate to the last part. I'm also very opinionated when it comes to Eurovision. I can't really claim a curriculum on TV, but I can claim to have been in most of Sean's live streams. So you guys probably know me. And I'm here commenting from Italy.
Fantastic.
Amazing.
And I'm your host, Sean. You see too many videos of me, and I am here on these live streams. We love to talk about Eurovision, don't we? All of us. And this is a great way how to do it. And the MALTA EUROVISION Song Contest in discussion today. We thought, before we would dissect into the competition, we thought we would go a little bit outside of the competition, or at least what should be in the competition. Aiden is probably performing live as a guest tomorrow. Now, Valentina, I know you have some things to say, so why don't you kick us off? What do we think about this?
I would correct you by saying probably performing, because he's definitely 100% performing tomorrow.
He's definitely doing it.
Yes,
it's
I have
legit.
seen. It is legit because I have seen some screenshots going around of people saying he's there doing rehearsals. So it's definitely happening. Not sure how, because obviously there was a lot of drama with him being disqualified, him threatening the broadcasting, the PBS, that he's going to sue them and tries to stop the festival. So there was a whole lot of drama in a month. I don't know how he managed to do it, but he literally broke the internet here. He created a storm, basically. And it might have been maybe a mutual agreement. So he stops threatening that he's going to stop the show and them giving him some limelight during tomorrow's final. But then again, for me, I'm finding it very odd because the way they're going to be presenting it, I think, tomorrow is that Aiden's going to be a special guest. He's going to sing a medley of 2-3 songs of his, obviously Ritmo being one of them. And it might tie into, I don't know if you guys watched the semi-final, but there was a special act which was very nostalgic, old Eurovision songs and singers that people loved to watch before, but never really made the cut, most of them. But people love them, and maybe Aiden is going to be in that category as well. Don't know if there's going to be more singers joining him, but then again, he's still going to be in the show, and I really don't get it, because even for him to be in the show after all that hassle, I have so much respect for the guy. I'm a huge fan, but this just questions everything.
I agree. I mean, they do, if we look at abroad, they do this in Melody Festival, and right, in Sweden, when they disqualify an act, and they disqualify them over much more legitimate grounds than how Aiden has been disqualified, they almost automatically get to perform as an interval act during their semi-final. So from a Eurovision perspective, it might, I mean, for me, if all of this drama had not existed, I have to say, I did think about this. But knowing how, I mean, it was going to go to court, it
was messy. It was just very messy.
It was super messy. This just doesn't make sense. Obviously, I'm happy for him, but at the end of the day, when you're at school and you have the school bully who gets expelled, you don't put them on the school assembly or the school prize day for them to give an apology speech so that everyone can clap for them,
Yes, I mean, again, I'm happy for him that he's going to be on the stage, because I know Aiden personally and I know how much Eurovision means to him. But then again, I just feel he was doing something so great by saying, listen, guys, the day after the Eurovision, the Malta song winner is announced, I am going to be releasing my video of Regina. I'm like, mic drop, this guy is a legend. He's still probably going to do the same thing as last year, go tour with the Eurovision
I hope he will go to Madrid, because I'm going to be there.
Really? No, I honestly definitely think he will, because he has so many good contacts and relationships, so I think so. But then again, this performance tomorrow, I feel it's so extra, not needed, and it's just, extra talk.
Yes.
I feel like he realized that he screwed up his relationship with TVM. He really wants to go to Eurovision, as you said. So if he had gone on with the lawsuit and everything, then he would have alienated himself from TVM for the next year.
Yes.
So everybody wins from this situation. He lowers his ears and just performs, and he will come back next year as a competitor.
I do believe that this was a very eye-opening lesson, what happened this year, because I think Malta needs to really step up their game when it comes to letting the artists shine and market themselves, because we cannot keep putting people in the same boat. Like, if people don't want to be better, you can't expect people to be on the same level. I mean, when you look at people abroad, that's what they do. They make sure that the artist knows how to market themselves, so that if you win, at least you have a basic idea of what's going to happen,
Yeah, actually, Valentina, I wanted to tell you something, since you have some power in TVM. This is a concern that...
They probably don't like me, trust me.
Oh, well, but maybe you can bring it up, because this is actually a concern that many Eurovision fans have. You know how TVM buys the rights to the song in MALTA EUROVISION Song Contest, and they are not allowed to be released commercially until the end, right? Everybody complains about this. Like, people want these songs to be on Spotify beforehand. Yeah. This also helps the artists, because both TVM and the artist can get extra revenue from the streams. And of course, somebody's going to get more, somebody's going to get less, but Serbia, which is a country that got Spotify only 2 years ago, put all the songs on Spotify on the day they were released 2 weeks ago.
I agree.
Malta should do the same. Makes no sense to me.
100%. Right now, I'm stuck on YouTube and having to stop the ads every time.
Yeah, correct.
Because I'm listening to all the songs, even the bad ones. But yeah, I do agree. Again, this is something that I think the country needs to just say, listen, we need to be more futuristic and go with the times, because we're still stuck in, the old times where we have to finish everything and then we let the artist put it out. It doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't work like that anywhere in the world anymore. In any selection.
On TVM, I mean, this whole selection, these last few years, the whole thing has just been so shameful. We are the embarrassment of Europe when it comes to the national final. The level,
you saying and makes me cringe.
And how fans are so reacting. I mean, sometimes I have to tell people I'm from Andorra. I don't want to be associated with all of this news that's going on. And this Aiden thing was just the last straw. Even if there is this rule, and mind you, these rules are ridiculous. You can't stop someone from promoting themselves on social media. And people were having it at him, because they were saying, "Oh, but the rules are the rules." Listen,
no.
If rules were broken, there were many monkeys who Aiden.
There were a lot of other artists that did the same thing, maybe not
exactly.
Honestly, you wouldn't know exactly what happened, because Aiden might have maybe tried to be a bit rebellious, towards certain situation. But I do believe that it should have been taken up on PBS to say, listen, no, not only Aiden did this, there were these, and these people, for example, got their points deducted. At least something, because people were just saying that PBS is attacking Aiden, which is obviously why people were siding with Aiden then.
Of course. And, with rules, throughout the history of the world, if rules were not broken, women would not be allowed to work. Gay people would not be allowed to live. Black people would not be allowed to breathe.
Everyone breaks the rules. Everyone breaks the rules, and nothing is done. Why did it have to be ridiculous? Aiden did something, and in the history of Malta EUROVISION, someone got disqualified. What on earth?
And just to top it off, even if this silly rule existed, I have never seen throughout the history of Malta at Eurovision someone who the foreign fans got behind so much. There was never someone like Aiden who was so loved, went to pre-parties. he was making a name for Malta by not even representing Malta. So why just stop him the opportunity to compete? I think
and
it's
that's why I
ridiculous.
love him. That's why I love him, because he managed to do something that Malta hasn't achieved in years. He managed to literally get people to mention Malta in everything with just one hit.
Absolutely.
But at the same time, I think that this whole situation will give him some good publicity, so he's become even more popular.
100%. I'm honestly a bit put off about the whole situation that he's going to be performing tomorrow, just for the simple reason about this drama and the singers not maybe being fair on them. But I'm waiting for him to strike a bomb and do something that he's not supposed to be doing tomorrow, because he is that type of person that anything can happen. Like, I don't know, maybe he'll sing a small part of Regina without it being supposed to be. That would be
that would be iconic.
Oh
so
my
he's not
God.
even going to sing Regina.
No.
So I want to just go through a little bit of the hits.
Sorry?
I'm gonna go through a little bit of our comments because I do want to engage with our viewers. And someone is very happy that Valentina Rossi is here. And he tells us that Aiden is the real winner of MESC. Well, I guess he's not.
But we
is
also
the
have
winner
a MALTA EUROVISION. And gossip.
Absolutely. Biggest publicity. We have Dan with us, who is competing in tomorrow's final. Hello, Dan.
Hi, nice congratulations, Dan.
And yeah.
Shall we talk about, like, for example, Dan's performance?
Like I said, Aiden is unfortunate. Absolutely. I was going to start with the favorites, because let's be honest, there are favorites and there are less favorites. So the two people that are on most people's minds are Brooke and the busker. We can kick it off with Brooke. Who wants to start? What do we think about Checkmate?
Go ahead.
I'm going to go because I've been a fan of Brooke actually since her first participation in 2016. And, you know, she has her own style, her own identity. She sings empowerment songs with her big vocals. She's sort of a Beyonce of Malta. From what I see from the outside, she has this untouchable diva aura around her, but who at the same time puts herself on the same level as others. About Checkmate, I don't think that Malta should be sending another song made in Sweden. You know, Brooke has this amazing stage presence, this charisma, these vocals that song doesn't really, you know, take the best out of her. So since Malta allows you to change the song for Eurovision, then if Brooke wins, and I'm confident that she has a shot, then she can look for a song that represents her even more and shows off her talent even more. I do like the song. It's actually my number 5. I listened to all the songs yesterday morning, and I ranked her at my number 5. But I think that no, I had to listen on YouTube. But I think that she can do even better. So a song like Unstoppable, for example, the way she performed it, she blew me out of my mind. And I was shocked that she only came 4th that year.
I have to agree with you on certain things. First of all, this is very hard for me to comment about because Brooke is one of my biggest friends, and most of people competing are my friends, or I work with them sometimes. But I have to say, Brooke is one of those artists that she gets it. She knows the level that Eurovision expects. So obviously she's going to pull out all her tricks to make sure that the show looks insane. So the staging was absolutely amazing. She had dancers in these really cool catsuits, which unfortunately we didn't really get to see much of, which I was a bit bummed about because she had this whole marketing campaign about the move of Checkmate and the dance moves, exactly. And then it really didn't translate in the performance. So you don't see any of that. You just see really cool and quick camera shots and just Brooke. So you don't even see the element of the dancers that much or the move that she's trying to create, which I think in Eurovision is something very important. Like, for example, remember, my God, Bitti Strava.
Oh my God, our favorite song.
Yeah, I voted for her.
But like, imagine, like, she really made it a point that everyone knows, you know, that move. And Brooke had that advantage this year, that, you know, she has something iconic that she can use throughout. Then again, I did not get the outfit, for example. It gave me mixed feelings about what the song is, what the marketing was. The quarterfinals, she was super edgy in the quarterfinals. Then yesterday we saw, I can say, a bit of a Gemma Cass vibes, like Destiny vibes, with the whole outfit.
The first
so
dress.
I really didn't get it. I really didn't get it. So I hope she does something about the outfit, because it really doesn't match with the whole vibe aesthetic of the powerful song. But I do have other favorites, I'm not gonna lie.
Eurovision, who is Maltese, told us the same thing about the dress. The dress. Oh, you love the dress. Sorry, I read it wrong. The dress I love, but it does not match the song. And
it is gorgeous. It's beautiful.
I have the same thoughts. When I first heard Checkmate in the quarterfinals, I was watching it with my dad, and he said, "This is the one," and I was like, "Really?" I mean, the song. Okay, you know, these people they don't listen to Eurovision songs on repeat as much as us, so maybe it was a little bit immediate. But the song, I do think it's a melody festival and reject, essentially. And it was composed in Stockholm. It was composed by Dino Medan-Hozic, who is daughter's fiancé. And it's not a bad song. It's just stuck in 2016, in my opinion, when we're talking about Eurovision.
Like most of the Swedish songs.
Absolutely. Most of Melody Festival.
And it's a been there, done that. It's a been there, done that vibe. Like when you close your eyes and listen to it, you can already imagine the staging and how it's gonna look, because it's very, very Eurovision. But I think Eurovision now is more than that. Eurovision is a bit more quirky. I got that vibe ever since I saw Iceland competing with their song. Exactly. I was like, yes, this is the fresh things we need in Eurovision, because there's always going to be the hot chick, the great voice. We need something different, and that is what people like.
Absolutely.
I mean, Brooke's strength is the voice to me. Like, she doesn't have to prove anything else. She has a wonderful voice. Her stage presence is massive. So
her voice and her stage presence is second to none. I mean, her experience and her veteranism just shines on the stage, especially compared to some other artists who are not so experienced. And that's why I feel bad, because I think she just needs a good song. She just needs a good song, and even her personality. You know, when I reacted to her song, and I got a comment from her. She told me, thanks for your reaction. And I told her, listen, I know I said some, critical things, but I'm sure that anyone can take it well like you. And she does, she told me, listen, I appreciate any feedback, whether it's good or bad. And I really appreciate that from an artist, because as reactors, we tend to walk on eggshells a lot sometimes. And we are scared of being cancelled these days.
I am not. Actually, I really don't care. I have had previous Eurovision winners unfollow me because of not liking the song. I am a person that comments about the song and the performance and not about the person. Obviously, This is why you react to Eurovision, you react to videos. But yes, some people just don't take it as good criticism. They don't just, they take it the bad way.
Eurovision also tells us that she said she will change the outfit for tomorrow. If she does, I will vote for her.
She is thinking about it because I spoke to her as well, and she's like, it's not easy, and obviously you have to understand that the artist has everything ready. She's probably been working on this for months, but she said that she might actually change it, and if she does, I think, yes, as you said, John, people will really appreciate that.
Absolutely. We appreciate it as feedback. And she doesn't even need to do much work. Bring back the black dress from the quarterfinals, and we're good. We're good. The busker are wearing the same jumper. So, yeah. I loved the staging as well, by the way. The staging was really impactful from Brooke.
It's really cool.
Moving on, we have the busker, who are the other favorite, I think.
Wow.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I am one of those that when I heard the snippets of the 30 seconds and I heard the busker and that saxophone, I'm like, yes, this is going to be fun. So literally, I'm looking forward to see them tomorrow again, because I feel that with them being newbies in Eurovision and not having as much fan base as obviously like someone like Brooke or Maxine or Ryan Healy, I still think they can give a surprise tomorrow. They had a bit of a crazy performance, like too much on stage at times, personally. But then again, the song is fun, and they did this with very, very few budget, little budget. So imagine what they can do with proper budget, proper direction, and a big stage. I think we will definitely stand out if we send the buskers personally, but it's all in the public's hands.
I agree that the busker is actually Malta's best chance at doing well this year at Eurovision.
Really?
They are marketing, from a marketing point of view, they are perfect. They go on stage with a song that suits their appearance. They wear clothes that suit their vibes. Everything works perfectly. The song is catchy enough. They are charismatic performers, and you wouldn't tell they're newbies. Okay, they have this endearing debuting artist vibe around them, which people really like, especially these days when music is supposed to be relatable to people. So I think they're a brilliant act, actually. I would love to see them win, and I see many other international Eurovision fans saying that they should win. So.
In 2013, there was Kevin Borch with the song Needing You. I don't know if you remember it, but I was actually part of that performance. And I was like, if he wins, I can actually go to Eurovision. I can actually go to Eurovision.
You are the girl who came out in the end.
Yes, I'm the ghost girl. Hi.
Vera.
Yes, Vera. Oh, they had so many dress rehearsals with me included, and then the camera guy got it wrong, and I actually showed just a few seconds, but it was my dream come true, because I actually was on stage being a Eurovision fan, and someone like Kevin Borch, who has won big competitions in Sweden, I was like, wow, I'm actually going to be part of this. People were really rooting for him. He had a huge standing ovation. I get talking about it. It was great. The song was really good. But then there was Gianluca Bezzina with the song Tomorrow that stole people's hearts. And he actually, it was a surprise. Kevin Borch actually thought he was going to win. It was done. People loved him. He was the guy that from a small local TV show actually went abroad and won something. He became this massive celebrity, came here to Malta. They were like, okay, he's going to win. And Sweden are going to vote for us. But Gianluca won then. So I feel that we might get the same vibe maybe tomorrow, that we think that there's a clear winner. But then the busker, Ryan Healy, Matt Black.
Are very endearing.
I really
very modern sounding too. I was surprised that song existed to begin with.
First of all, I had the opportunity to see Dave Jr., who's the lead singer of the busker, in the 6-chair challenge when he did X Factor. And I saw it live there. And I said, this guy is our response to Eurovision. I'm not going to be so dramatic. I don't think he's going to win Eurovision for us. But today we're sat here and we're talking about him as a potential Malta Eurovision representative. And I love this on so many levels. Number one, it's such a cool song, you cannot dislike this unless you dislike Malta for Eurovision fandom reasons that we've talked about 10 minutes ago. Then I get it. But you cannot hate on this song, I think. And to me, it's a really good, it comes at a really good time as well, because I feel better in my sweater is the lyrics. It's about, dancing at home.
Yeah.
And it comes at a time where we've paused lockdowns, but we're also partying. Even the people who were comfortable in lockdowns are now partying again. And I feel like it straddles along that vibe. And I think it's super, super smart. I did really like the staging and the performance yesterday. I thought they really tried hard. But I do agree with Val, of course. I do think that there are some things that need to be edited out. I'm not sure what kind of direction they are given at Eurovision. A little birdie told me that this is choreographed or stage managed by Stephen Levi Vella. Is it true?
Yes, it's true.
It's cool.
Obviously, Stephen Levi Vella is one of the best.
He's the only one in my eyes.
honestly, if you ever seen Eurovision staging and you say, wow, Stephen is probably behind it, so he is a mastermind when it comes to these things. But in the buskers, you don't see the normal Stephen Levi touch to it, because obviously Steve is very artistic, dramatic, and stuff like that. So you don't really get it, that it's directed or choreographed by him. But again, as much as I love it, I still think it's a bit all over the place.
Yes.
Especially with the camera work. Yes, especially with the camera work that there was. Like, there was a part where David's head was just chopped off because of a choreography thing, and that really bugs me, because like they do rehearsals and stuff and they still manage to get it wrong in the final shots.
Absolutely. I think the busker will also be... I don't think Brooke will win the televote. I really don't think Brooke will win the televote.
No, you're serious?
No. I think it's between the busker and another act that we can start talking about them right now. I think it's between the busker and Ryan Healy.
Ryan Healy? Am I missing something?
He has a massive...
George, you have to keep in mind that he won the X Factor, and he was a dark horse. Like, no one knew that this guy was going to just come and steal people's heart and win televoting with a lot. So I can agree with Sean on this one.
I'm only commenting from the outside. I have no idea how famous these people can be in Malta, but I'm surprised to hear that Ryan Hill is in the running, because his song does sound like an X Factor winner single. And that's not really a nice thing to say, because those type of songs are usually dramatic ballads that don't really go anywhere. They're just rush released, rush recorded, just to, fit contractual obligations. And this song is no different. He has great vocals, which justify his X Factor win fully. His performance, I thought that he felt confident on stage, but here the song is really the problem. It doesn't stand out. There's no place in the market in 2023 for a song like that. I'm sorry.
I was actually discussing this, and I said, ballad-wise, if I had to discuss ballads, Maxine has a really good production this year, a strong ballad. Let's not talk about the performance for now, but the ballad was beautiful. But then if you have to compare vocals, Ryan Healy just isn't incredible. Like, his voice is outstanding. If he just had a good song and good staging, I still think he could stand out. But then again, if you see Maxine, the style of production that she went for is really modern. It's very now, like very Billie Eilish meets a James Bond soundtrack. Like, it gets to you,
I personally, now this is where Shonzers has entered the building. I can't stand Ryan's song, unfortunately. I think it's super dated. It really puts on this stereotype of Malta being so backwards when it comes to the music industry. And I really would not like to see this as our representation on the big stage. I wasn't even, I'm going to be honest. I mean, I was watching the semi last night and my mother said, well, he has a great voice. Absolutely. He has a great voice. But I think, and we mentioned Maxine, because the song does not give him the opportunity to, the song doesn't speak for itself. I think when it comes to production and mentoring, the voice has to do what the song is not doing. So in doing so, I think he overuses his voice. And sometimes, sorry to say it, I think it comes across as a little bit whiny. Whereas Maxine has a crystal clear vocal. She does not miss a note. And the song, even though I don't think it's very memorable, it's laid back enough to the point that it does not seem like it's pretentious. And I much prefer Maxine's song if I had to choose between these two. I'm sorry, when I ranked the 40 songs, Ryan was my number 33.
Oh
wow! No,
I need to get my ranking out.
Oh my God, that's crazy. No, I think I agree with you with regards to the song being very, very dated, but the guy has his voice is like you're listening to a recorded voice, which is not something that you see in a lot of singers, because you hear a recorded track and then you hear them live and you're like, what the hell just happened? So wow, I'm shocked to hear you say that. I think there were far worse songs than Ryan's. And this year it was a dream, trust me.
It was.
I actually have him as 27, so.
My jaw is dropping, guys. What are you saying?
I just feel like a great voice alone.
Who's your last one?
My last one, I actually ranked all 40 of them, and number 40 is Blackout, which I don't think is in the final.
Oh, it was my number 40 as well.
George, what are you guys? What are you guys? It's of Bradley, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, here it is. I actually wrote a comment about it. I wrote that the voice and the instrumental go into different directions, and it's all over the place. That was my concern about the song.
But, oh my God, how did you rank that as 40? I actually was surprised he did not pass yesterday because of the fact that, honestly, if I had to, now this is going to be a big thing. If I had to choose between Ryan Healy and Blackout, I would have chosen Blackout music-wise because it is musically better, not boring, you know, it's not safe, it's going all over the place, and to create a dramatic performance, I think Blackout has more potential than In the Silence.
Yeah, it's more memorable.
But I agree with you. I think it's really...
voiceability.
It really came alive last night. To be honest, I had this down at my number 40 from the studio.
I can't deal with this.
But then last night, no, you're right. Last night it came alive. It was probably one of the best staging packages, and it brought out the drama.
Black and white for that. They had like this black and white. No, but it was too long. It was like too long.
Yeah,
like
it's true.
The color came back to life. Way, you know, past when it should have.
It was late. But I think it you know, cross off the filters, like the whole staging, when it opened with that like part and the smoke coming out. I thought that it was a fantastic, it brought out the drama of the song. And if I had to rank all 40 songs again, it would probably go, I think I might have chosen it last night as one of the 16. But my biggest issue with that song, since we're discussing it, is that it's so sad that I have to see an 18-year-old performing like a 45-year-old. I'm sorry. If you're doing this when you're 18, what are you going to do when you're 50?
You found it dated.
Eurovision. You won't be in Eurovision.
And it's awkward for me because I know the songwriter. I know Christina Magrin, who I love.
Oh, she sang Parachute, right?
She what?
She sang Parachute.
Yeah.
That's her.
She's lovely, but I didn't like this song. Nothing personal, but okay.
Yeah, you know what? As I said before, marketing is important. So you always have to match the song with the songwriter. For example, if you gave, I don't know, a song like Poker Face by Lady Gaga to Leona Lewis, then it would have never become a global hit. You have to match song and performer. It's fundamental. And I think in this case, I had no idea the guy was 18, but he did sound too young to be performing that type of song.
I still think he pulled it off, though. Like, vocal-wise, that song was not easy. It was not easy to hit certain notes, and for him being a newbie. And again, I mentioned this newbie thing because when you're a newbie and you're on a big stage, you have more chances of, you know, fails to, you know, hit certain notes and stuff because of all the nerves. And I think he managed to do that really, really well, keeping his composure while still, you know, looking like he's doing it effortlessly, personally.
Absolutely. It's true.
But again, I am shocked at your ratings. I am shocked.
We're here to have unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
One act that is being talked about a lot and did make the final is another young performer. What do we think about Nathan?
Wow.
Go ahead.
I like it. I still think that he's not 100% ready. But when I had heard the clip and then I saw it yesterday, I'm like, this has potential. But I wasn't a fan of his voice yesterday. I think either he was very nervous, but there was something missing for me. But again, I love the guy and I actually see him doing well in the future. Like, with a bit more direction, he can really be good.
I thought that the song was actually nice, very nice hook. So for somebody who is going for the first time, I think, yeah, to MESC, that was a very nice debut, and he can be proud of himself. And he also has a nice stage presence, so yeah, he can be proud.
I wasn't a massive fan of the song to begin with, but in this very, very weak selection, in my opinion, he did stand out. I was writing an article for Love in Malta when the snippets came out, and I had to rank my top 9, and I put him as number 9 out of 40. Oh. And bless him, he's such a sweetheart, you know. And I did say constructive criticism about his song, and again, he texted me on Instagram. He was like, "Thank you for your comments." And again, I'm flying the flag of respect here, but yes. I think he improved a lot from his days on X Factor. It's nice to see that there are so many X Factor people entering Eurovision, because these, you know, they entered X Factor and did well because they were not known before and they had not done Eurovision before. So hashtag new names, at least.
Yes, it's the year of newbies, yeah, guys.
Absolutely. But the song, to me, is a little bit, again, not as dated as the others we mentioned.
No, it's not dated.
To me, it's a little bit Kristin Kostov from Bulgaria. Like that kind of vibe. And that song, again, I think, didn't age very well. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I
can't imagine him doing a pop, you know, Nathan. I can't imagine him doing something like Stefan's Heartbreaker. Forget it. It's not him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had no criticism about this song, actually.
We can talk about Stefan's Heartbreaker.
We can talk about all the foil he had on his face.
Who wants to start us off? Because you do not want me to start off about this.
No, I want you to start.
Do you have anything positive to say, Valentina?
Honestly.
Yeah.
Of course. That's why we're here.
I think the song can be a good radio hit without seeing the performance. Because it's not the performance was just not there for me. I think I'm one that will replay the song because it's like, yes, I'm proving a point. I love it, you know, and there's a lot of like good lyrics to it, but it's not a song for Eurovision. And the whole look and Stefan trying to dance and do a lot of moves and stuff like that, I think it was too much at a point. Like even the makeup and everything, I think it was too much. Again, I know Stefan, I love and respect him, but then I don't feel it was how his comeback to Eurovision should have been. It was too much.
I found the performance to be very awkward as well, I must say. And this song, I kind of feel like the production is quite dated. There are some production elements that I haven't heard since 2017 circa, so it will need a revamp in order to work better for an international competition. But here the main problem is the performance. Sometimes less is more. That's all I'll say.
Exactly. He could have literally had something really good with some graphics and him just being a man, you know, like...
Yeah, showing how of a heartbreaker he is, actually.
He was the heartbroken in this song, not the heartbreaker.
I know, but he could have twisted it.
I'm going to attempt to be professional and constructive, which I always tend to be. And I really don't like this song at all because it's so dated and so... to me, it comes across as try hard as well. Like even when Stefan is performing it, you can almost tell that he doesn't fully believe in the song because he has to try so hard to sell it, and all the faces and the look. And I feel like the camera work was horrible because they were making him look even more try hard. And there is a YouTuber, she's American, and she's the only American YouTuber I will ever follow because she's fantastic, Alicia Michelle. When she was reacting to the songs, she said, and obviously, you know, she's American, she doesn't know any of us, she doesn't need to be nice. She said, this is creepy. And I'm afraid that is the vibe that it gives.
But I don't mind creepy. I don't mind creepy as long as it gives you something to feel. At least it's memorable. Like, okay, it's not great, but it's memorable. Like there are many songs that I heard yesterday that are not memorable and not talked about. Not everything talked about is in the good, you know, but I just think that with a little bit of tweaking, Stefan could have actually had a good try this year with a good performance, you know, if just kept a bit more subtle. I'm surprised he passed. I'm gonna be honest. I'm surprised he passed for the final.
I mean, I'm not shocked, to be honest, because like you said, it was memorable. And in Malta, we do tend to vote, not me personally, but, you know, the televote is not reliable here. Let's face it. A lot of people do vote for the artist. And I don't think we know how to vote, even though that's a really, you know, crude thing to say. But
last year was a very clear indication that you don't know how to vote. I mean, everyone voted for Emma Muscat because they thought that Italy is going to vote for us, and we're not even in the category that Italy could have voted for us. That's how people are not knowledgeable enough about Eurovision. Like the first thing I did this time was see who's going to be in our, you know,
semi-final.
Our semi-final. Like that's what you have to take care
of. It's a tough semi-final.
It is a tough semi-final.
Yeah. And it's a very tough one.
I don't get this like mentality of, okay, let's get Italy's votes. You know, 12 points from Italy is just as good as 12 points from Iceland. Like
it's 12 points always go to Romania anyway.
Yeah, so we would, I mean, it's the same with Kevin, you know, people were saying, Kevin Boyce, that we're going to get points from Sweden. It's just one country, you know, let's, at least if we're going to take someone who's Serbian, maybe we'll get votes from the Balkans. Like that's a little bit, but still, it doesn't make sense. Speaking of Stefan, there's another really colorful performance that I think is memorable in a good way. What do we think of Matt Black?
Oh my God, yes. I literally applaud the guy for putting up one of the best shows yesterday, literally one of the best shows, not trying to be cringe or anything, with just a few budget that he has and choreography and him being part of the performance without not overdoing it. I think it was honestly spot on. One of the best shows of yesterday.
Matt Black, sure, he's a character. He has fun on stage. You can tell that he believes in what he proposes. And, you know, he entertains himself, but he also entertains the people. This is a very positive thing for somebody who, you know, tries to be in the show business. And if he ever went on to represent Malta, then he will only have fun. He will have fun regardless. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think he can actually be that guy that people talk about. I really describe him as MESC. I don't know if you know the artist MESC. He's a singer, songwriter. He works with a lot of people. But he's one of those people that is talked about because of his persona. And Matt Black can definitely be one of those people, you know, even if he represents Malta, like people will be like, oh, that guy. He has something that just, you know, is memorable.
And many of those people are actually considered to be pretentious, annoying. In Matt's case, that's not the thing. Like, he's actually very likable.
He is
exactly.
Everybody likes him.
Yeah.
He's not a tryhard. Like, I actually applaud his personality.
I don't think he has a fan base, though. That's, I think, his issue.
That's what I was about to say. I think it's
building the fan base.
Such a fan base because it's really nice to see. Again, I said Nathan improved a lot. Matt Black, we've seen him for longer, and I think he's a work in progress. From his performances in the first, you know, years of his career, I think he developed so much. He sang and danced, and he did not have any vocal problems last night. And even though the song is not for me personally, at least it's a performance that I can respect. And I don't think this should go to Eurovision, but it's respectable. It's respectable. George, you have a favorite that we haven't talked about yet. Let's go.
Should I introduce her?
Of course.
Yeah. My number one favorite is La La Land by Cheryl Balzan. I'm going to explain why first. I'm usually actually a fan of guitar songs. Rock.
Je me casse.
El se case. Yeah, I usually like this type of edgy songs. I thought that at least in the quarterfinal performance, Cherry looked very confident on stage. She has a rasp in her voice that works perfectly for this type of music. The outfit was also edgy. I didn't actually see the one from yesterday. I should catch up. Was it disastrous?
No,
Okay.
it wasn't.
Okay.
Because obviously people might think I don't like her or something like that. I actually love her. I love her attitude and her voice. And again, it's different. We need those kind of songs in Eurovision, like to spice it up a bit. But man, she's awkward on stage. She has no stage presence whatsoever. Like, she sounds great, but she's awkward, man. She's doing this. Someone needs to like tell her, listen, this is the choreography, or else just do nothing on stage or just hold the guitar, because she looks uncomfortable. And even when I see her interviews and she's like, they're like, oh, look what you're wearing. She's like, yeah, I never wear these things. Like, my God, man, I don't feel like she's a ready artist. I feel that she's talented, but not an artist with a complete package. And that just makes me uncomfortable looking at her performance. Like, someone is telling her to do this without her actually wanting to do this. That's what makes me cringe about it. But other than that, I even love the song. It's catchy. Like, I get myself singing to it when it's on, because I leave it on repeat here, like the whole 40 traumatic songs. But when hers comes on, it's actually nice. Like, it's a grower, if you know what I mean.
You know what I will do? First of all, the song needs one improvement in the production. They should enhance the guitars. The guitars need to be more present. Otherwise, the song sounds too synthetic. About the performance, I will just give her like 5 dancers so that the most of the physical work is diverted on them, and she feels like she has to do less.
She has to do that because it's awkward.
It is, yeah, but I liked her energy, actually. I thought that she was very convinced in what she was doing, and I liked the song to begin with. Like, I hear some guitars and I already like it, so that's how I am.
Yeah. No, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Just before I delve into Cheryl, I want to give a shout out to my French students who are in the chat right now, who are asking me when I'm going to give them their bus cards. Because I should have given them their bus cards today and I forgot, and I'm going to give it to them on Sunday. So boys, you will get your bus cards, and thank you for coming. I actually disagree, I think, with both of you on Cheryl, because when I heard the song, to me, it's like a one-note song. It never really goes up, it never really goes down. There's no progression. It's very static. And I was disappointed because I really liked Cheryl in X Factor. I think she won our hearts. She was this lady who had no experience, and she just came in with this fantastic raspy voice, and I admire her. With regards to the performance, as you mentioned, well, to be honest, I never really cared for it because I never liked the song. So it's interesting, and I do agree. However, for me, because I know Cheryl I don't know her personally, but I know her from that first X Factor audition. To me, it's kind of cute, but of course, this is not a cute song, and it's
the same
vibe. Yeah, it's not a cute song. I get it, but I don't know. She's likable at least, and in this bunch of 40 where we have very, very amazing songs, I have to look at the everything else but the song. For instance, Jessica, for me, who did not make it to the semifinals, and to me was a crime that she did not make it to the semifinals because she had a memorable chorus. I always put her up there because of her amazing personality. Like, even those little tista tkun in sort of interviews in the quarterfinals where everyone was telling their stories.
And show at all. Like,
of course. And it shouldn't be.
Their personality fits in the song and the whole performance.
Absolutely.
But other than that, I'm sorry, out.
But if you don't have a song to begin with, I just have to look at whatever I have, right?
True.
But you know what?
I love her for her personality, and she was saying the story about some South American tribe she visited. Anyways, I love her. Big Kiss Jessica, but yeah, moving
But
on.
I agree with you actually on the song sounded a little bit flat. That's why I suggest boosting the guitars, like make the song even edgier. She has the voice for it anyway, so she's going to pull it off.
Some people are telling us to talk about Mikhail, who did not make the final last night. And also Gratitude. What do we make of this?
So Gratitude, I'm sorry, no, it was a fun act to have in the semifinals, to be fair, because like
to open the show
and to open the show and to lighten up the show a bit, but it just wasn't there. Like vocally, it wasn't there. Even the show wasn't fantastic, but it was just fun to see her in the show. But that's it. Like I wasn't feeling bad about her not being in the final. The voice was just not there for me. But other than that, Mikhail, I like the song. I just don't think it's Eurovision. I think it's more musica musica. I don't know, George, if you're familiar with musica musica.
Yeah, of course. Sean introduced me.
Yeah. I think it's more a musica musica hit, which will actually be a potential winner for me because his voice is insane. He connects with the camera, and the music and everything. The production was really nice. It like had a nice build up to it. I really enjoyed it, but I was not feeling bad that he was not in the final tomorrow because I know there's not a strong Eurovision song.
I thought that Mikhail's song urgently needed a revamp, mostly to the instrumental, because it felt very cheap sounding to me. I personally liked the Maltese. I liked his voice. I liked the structure of the song, but the instrumental really needed some work. It was quite distracting, actually. It just, he sounds so professional, and the song didn't. And about Gratitude, I had nothing much to say. I agree with Valentina. It was a fun act, but she served her purpose in the semifinal, and she entertained, and that's it.
At least she was walking this time with the sound of the stiletto. I'm like, one job.
She had no room on stage. The stage was too small.
It was the same stage.
Was it?
Yeah, it was just like one.
Yeah, but they had a smaller area to walk in. So even if you just at least make us believe that it's your stiletto.
Go around in circles.
Exactly.
Mikhail, I really liked the song, and it was in my top 10 initially. But last night there was something wrong. I need to watch the performance back because I haven't. But there was something that halfway through the performance, I immediately said, even in this week lineup, this isn't going to the final. And wow. I really don't know what it is. Like, I just had that strong instinct. It didn't. The performance came across to me as almost, musical theater kind of interpretive dancing with the dancer painting the words on like the floor.
You see a lot of that at Eurovision.
I didn't get it. And like I said, because the performance was so uninspiring for me, I don't feel bad as well. But the song had a potential, and I hate to have to lose a song that is better than many others because it had weak staging, as opposed to some really not inspiring songs that are in the final because of staging. And still, I think there are worse songs in the final than Mikhail's and Gratitude's. And I didn't even like Gratitude's song to begin with.
Should I mention one?
You can.
Okay. The song that I like the least in the final is I Depend on You by Giada. Yeah. And it's my 39, actually, in my ranking. And I don't really have any particular issues with it. It's just that it left me with nothing. It was just like, I don't know, like a recital at school where the girl is just singing her song and then she's done and nobody remembers anything and everybody claps.
Yeah.
She did not leave an impact.
Good, because she actually sounds good. So there's no flaws really in her voice, but the song just did nothing to elevate her. I was actually very disappointed this year with her because, not with her, with the act that she went with, because last year she had a killer entry. Like, she was like,
bro.
I honestly disappointed that she did not.
The same Giada's boy?
Sorry?
She's the same Giada as last year.
Yes.
Yeah, no, not of boy. Boy.
No, sorry.
No, but honestly, I was like, Jesus, man, like, sorry, my dog.
He agrees. He agrees.
Sorry, got excited. But honestly, like last year, she was killer. Literally.
Yeah, I really agree. Like, I hate to say it. I mean, I don't know them personally, so I'm going to say it. What a downgrade. For me, it's a downgrade. Like, Revelación was a bop.
That's true.
It wasn't the best song in the world. It was written by Aiden, and I know why you got confused with Boy, because Boy was also written by Aiden.
Also written by Aiden.
So I prefer Boy.
I wouldn't say it's a downgrade, Tashon. I would say she tried to show a different side to her.
That's what it is, yes.
Honestly, I just blame the people who chose it, because I'm sure that if she had another bop or something and they chose that, she would have been one of the baddies here.
Wanting to show a different side of yourself so early in your career when you only have a couple of songs out, I don't think is a good idea. Look at Aiden, for example. All the songs that he released all follow a similar vibe and aesthetic. He's building, well, he has already built himself an identity and he's going on with it. People recognize him for something in particular. That's his style. I will suggest to... Of course it did. And I will suggest to all these people who enter national finals in general, I see this problem not only in Malta, but everywhere, that one year they enter with a type of song, and the next year they're completely different style. Like, where's the identity? You're not going to build a fan base like that. You don't build a fan base with quick little singles that are all different from one another. You have to make yourself known to people for a style. And, something like Revelación would have done Jada much more justice.
Wow, that was amazing.
It had great staging as well. And just to pick up on your points, Val, about whoever directs them, I think it's a massive problem, and we see it at Eurovision. These artists, poor artists, they don't have no mentorship. They don't have people like... I'm gonna go out on a limb here, and I say I think I would make a great ass person to tell yes or no. Let's open up a business. Not Nathan Rossi, Sean and Rossi. And
no, but sometimes you need guidance. All you need is proper raw guidance. Like, honestly, it's not about me knowing more. It's about the feels. Like, you need someone that is not going to be like, well done, anything you do is great. No, if you're gonna have someone like that, then you're gonna suck. Literally, you're gonna be like one of those people that you watch on America's Got Talent, that they go and they sound like crap because their mother told them they can sing. No,
absolutely.
Never surround yourself with yes men. We actually see it on many pop careers. Think about Katy Perry, for example. She's surrounded by yes men, and her career went, but that's for another time. Yeah, she lost direction because everybody said yes to her, basically.
Speaking of Jada, and I know Valentina will have a lot to say about this, someone likes Janville's song. And
Ian is Janville?
Ian is Janville, which is Jada's father. Yes.
They're making history.
But I know you like this song.
No, I honestly, people really gave me a hard time about this, but I really liked his song. I did not love it. I did not say, oh my God, it's the best song. But I actually enjoyed listening to it. He sounds great. He gave us a different vibe. And even the choreography and staging, I actually, it's memorable. I know that I can
elevated.
Go exactly speak to people about it, and they'll be like, yes, the one with the red dancer. It's like, he was on point, and even him joining in the choreography and stuff, I liked it. It was a bit of the same vibe, but then again, he sounded great, and it was one of those songs that I wouldn't mind seeing in the final for sure.
The song was super hypnotizing, actually. It stood out for that reason. Like, it was a nice listen. Yeah.
It stands out. It stands out. I mean, a lot of people, I think, give Janville a hard time, and anyone who likes his songs, because he's done MALTA EUROVISION Song Contest to death, and I think the last 7 or 8 times he's tried, he was never really in it to win it. So it brings out the argument of always the same people, and we're just tired of the same faces. And maybe I get to agree to a certain extent. But where I will defend Janville is that, again, when we have such a dire year in song quality, I'd rather bring up a face from the 1980s with a decent song, with something that stands out, as opposed to someone who, bless them, they're young and have no guidance, and they have a song that is not suited for them and does not do anything. I also like this song. Again, by MALTA EUROVISION 2023 standards, I like it. It's memorable and it stands out, and it has a vibe, like it's got that.
I know. I am not hating, honestly, and what you're saying, I totally agree with, because he actually gets it. He gets it. He is going with the times. He knows that Eurovision is about something that stands out, and even though the song isn't mind-blowing, there's still something that he managed to pull off to make people enjoy it.
Absolutely. Guys, we've crossed our 1 hour mark, so I'm gonna say let's just all pick one more act that we have not talked about and just shoot whatever you have to say.
Oh my God, who did we not talk about?
Okay, we didn't talk about Fabrizio Faniello, Gio De Bono, Chris Gregg, Dan.
I need to talk about Dan. Yeah, Dan. I need to talk about Dan.
Eliana Gomez Blanco and Christian Arding and Maxime Patch. We already talked about in the beginning. Yeah, so all of these.
I can talk about Dan. Dan is a newbie. He is known to be a backing vocalist normally in Eurovision and all Maltese festivals. So it's good to see people that are, stepping out of that backing vocals vibe into being the center of attention.
And he's watching us, so we love him.
He's still watching us.
I don't know, but he was.
But I think the performance, he sounded great vocally. Like, he knows how to control his voice. It was great. The song is very easy to listen to, like very sweet. Like if you're driving in a long road, you'd probably enjoy listening to it on a nice day. But I don't get why he stayed on the bike the whole time, mainly. I would have appreciated some movement on stage. So maybe like the bike being there, then maybe like doing something else, because the song is sweet, but it just remained like the same performance the whole time.
You know what, though? I found the song to be very predictable. When it began, I thought, okay, I can already tell how the song will go. So maybe that was reflected in the performance.
I respect Dan because I did not have good words about his song. And he texted me and he said, thank you for the feedback as well. And we actually had a nice
What did you say, Sean? What did you say?
I think in his quarterfinal, I think he was second. And I said, it's Brooke, the busker, and Maxine. And everyone else can just go home. And I did say, you're probably all lovely people, but these songs, I'm sorry. And again, he took it on the chin and he said, thank you. I think it's a nice song. That's why I'm putting it forward. But we all have different opinions. And that's why we have people like, and it's on my respect. So here he is. He's giving us his hearts. And
all right. No, but Dan is one of those artists, as you were saying, that really takes criticism on board. He knows the business. And I'm really, really happy to see him in the final because like people like him that are like really hardworking and take criticism deserve to compete. Like
absolutely.
And his song doesn't sound like the others anyway. So
at all. That's why I like it. It's really nice.
It does. I was never a fan of the song to begin with, purely the song, because it's a little bit, it doesn't go anywhere for me. I'm not into this style to begin with, so
it's a style.
I would have had a hard time.
And, it is. Yes, it is.
And I didn't really hate the bicycle, only because at the end we got this ring from the bicycle horn.
You're serious, Sean.
It's
when's your birthday?
Tell me that is not a MALTA EUROVISION Song Contest memorable moment to go down in the book.
I'm dying.
Ring.
I'm dying. Oh my God, that is like borderline, like Sound of My Stilettos vibes, ġifieri.
It's cheese on
Memorable one.
toast. It's cheese
Yes, but
on
you know what?
toast.
With his performance, it works. All I wanted was a bit
Absolutely.
more movement. That's all.
Yeah. George,
Okay.
who's your pick?
My pick is going to be Eliana Gomez Blanco because she's one of the 10
Absolutely.
favorites, at least in the international community.
Yes, she is.
You know, I actually liked the song. She has a nice vibe. It actually fits her looks and everything. It reminds me of the quirky girl style that was trendy at the time Lily Allen was making hits. And that's one of my favorite styles, actually. My only issue is that the lyrics, you know, Eliana is 18, I think.
Yes, she just turned 18.
Which 18-year-old uses the word groovy? Like, I'm pretty groovy. They say I'm pretty groovy. No, the lyrics are wrong for her age. I mean, that's a dated word.
True.
You know, that's the only issue with the song.
Performance throughout, personally. I think it's dated throughout, even the pin-up style. I'd much rather preferred a diner vibe situation rather than a pin-up.
That would have fit
more, you know. Because obviously, even the staging that she chose was like pin-up style, but like with a very old glamorous Hollywood style. Like, what is happening? But then again, the girl is really charismatic. Like, she enjoyed the performance. You can see it on her face, and she sounded okay. But then again, I'm honestly, I was shocked that she passed in the finals.
I'm really glad she did, because when I saw the performance, she went out third, and I like her song and I like her, but I thought it was going to be forgotten, and I'm glad she wasn't, because I do think it's one of the better songs in this bunch. I think I completely agree about the staging. Do you guys remember Ireland 2018? Sarah McTernan.
2019, yeah.
19, you're right. I think that's the vibe that she might have wanted to go with. And I think it would have suited the song better. I mean, not that kind of, you know, Riverdale. What's the place they drink milkshakes at? That place in Soma. That vibe. I don't, you know, it might not be just like that, but I respect her, because I get the impression, now I don't know anything about this, but I get the impression that she is in on the creative decisions regarding the song. Like, she might have wanted to sing a song like this. She might have been in the recording studio and, you know, giving her own input. She gives me the impression that this is not something that she, you know, a song that was bought from Sweden or from some songwriting camp and was just thrown into her. It's composed by Maltese veterans, Alfred Sisant and someone else, and it looks like she was part of it, and I appreciate that.
Now, Sean, it's your turn to choose between Christian Arding, Chris Gregg, and Fabrizio Fagnello.
It's Christian Arding. It's the last standing Maltese song we have.
Oh yeah.
It is a bit dated, yes. It is a little bit not
it's
memorable. But you know what? I'm gonna pick up at this point of musica, because I genuinely think that if we had to use, like as it is now, if we had to use musica as a Eurovision selection, which I hope we don't, because we'll ruin musica, I think we would have much better chances. For starters, we would have songs in Maltese and that are written by Maltese people, and that would make a hit.
And there will be more diversity in the lineup as well.
Absolutely. And at the end of the day, the songs that do well at Eurovision are not the songs composed for Eurovision. And, you know, if you think Måneskin, if you think In Corpore Sano, I'm sure that was not composed for Eurovision. If you think Salvador Sobral, you know, these are all the songs that were probably not intended for this contest, and they ended up winning it and setting like a landmark for people to be inspired by genre diversity and authenticity. And I wouldn't mind seeing some more musica at Eurovision personally, even if it's just the Maltese. But obviously, you know, Christian Arding's Ekuchar will not go to Eurovision. I don't think it should. but I'm flying the flag for it as the only Maltese remaining song. And I do think we should have more than just Aiden singing in Maltese.
Agreed. And this year we actually had a few selected songs that were not great, but they had the Maltese element to it. So slowly getting there. But then again, we need to still set a standard vibe on what's musica and mellow and what is musica but can lead to Eurovision, you know?
We need to give the shows their own integrity, yes.
Because like, okay, Christian is one of the most talented singers. He sounds insane. But the show is not memorable. There is nothing that I can say about the show. It's just him sounding great.
Absolutely. We do have 3 more. Shall we talk about them quickly?
At this point, yeah. Oh, and then I wanted to say that there's actually a fan vote for MALTA EUROVISION Song Contest for international fans. 92 people took part. So if you guys want later, I will take the top 5.
Yes.
Absolutely. Who wants to take Fabrizio?
I will take Fabrizio. Oh, okay. You take him then.
No, listen, I am a diehard fan of Fabrizio. I love him. I love how he still looks the same.
Yeah, he never ages.
He looks great.
Great genetics.
You know what? He is a bit. It's a bit of a cliche thing that he always has the same vibe of songs. Like you can close your eyes and say this is a Fabrizio track, but then again, he sounds good, and I really like the song. I just don't think that the look of the performance and everything did anything to elevate it.
Agreed. It was not a fantastic stage performance. I don't mind the song, you know, in this bunch, it's easily one of the best 15, in my opinion. But just because, again, it's from a Eurovision fan's perspective I'm talking here, just because he's been there, done that so many times, and it's not groundbreaking, I almost don't care for it. So I don't react to it so much, you know, but he's there, and congratulations.
But you can tell that he's a seasoned performer, at least. I mean, he is very good on stage. He's confident.
I hated the mic. I hated the mic he was using. That is so passé for me. This thing, the mic, you know, it looks like it's not anything, but it's there. Like, my God, just
it's like a broom.
It doesn't work for me at all.
Very old style performance.
Yes, but at least, you know, like people that are into rock music and stuff like that, I can imagine them using it, but not like Fabrizio wearing a tuxedo. What the hell was that?
That was a bit dramatic.
Gio, do you want to talk about Gio?
The Mirror.
The Mirror.
I wouldn't say that song left a positive impact on me. I found the delivery to be very flat. I found the song itself to be past its expiring date. And I don't really see how...
I think it's become part of the package. It's so expired.
Yeah, but I don't really see how this song should be performed in the current year of 2023, you know. Yeah, I don't think that package was... Pardon?
It's very hotel lobby vibes.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the guy is great. He knows his voice. He knows how to sing, but there's no oomph to it. And it's not even like that type of ballad where I will go and listen all over and all over again. But it was just like one of those songs, filler. That's it.
It didn't convey emotions. That's my issue with it.
There was no connection.
No.
And you know, we talked about like our and if I had to rank them again, I cannot disassociate myself from my thought about it on how it did. So for instance, a song like Mikhail's, who I thought was a strong enough song to qualify, now I might want to push it further. But a song like Gio De Bonos, who I don't even get why it was in this 40, and then it made it to the last 24, and now it's in the final. This is irritating me now. Bless him, they all can sing. They're all probably lovely people, like I said to Dan, but and that's not in dispute. And he knows his voice as well, like you said, well. But it's a song contest at the end of the day, And if we like, after the song, we're going to talk about the performance. And if the song is not there and the performance is not there, what the hell were those candles? What the hell were those candles? He stole them from Chiara's wardrobe in 1998.
Oh.
Where are those candles? I can't get past.
I totally agree. But then again, I don't agree with you that the song shouldn't have been one of the 40, because it's not one of the worst songs from the whole batch. But then again, I blame it on people deciding who passes and who not. This year, I think it was very unfair that you get people singing and not even getting any like show involvement and stuff like that, just for the sake of them singing. Like, while please note, they're still investing money to prepare for the week to come of the semifinals, and basically all for nothing because they knew they weren't going to pass, you know?
And they were paying them as well. Like, everyone who was there.
It was insane. I really feel bad for them, because there were some, for example, do you remember the song Shallegria?
Yeah, it's one of my favorites.
I loved it. Why the hell did not make it?
Why isn't that? Now that is why I wanted something Maltese to be in the final, because like hers was very Eurovision passé, but still like it works, you know, like it can be colorful and stuff like that. So I was very, very bummed out when that did not make it, because it's catchy and it's memorable. So I feel bad about those people that did not pass and that were investing money in choreography and stuff for the semifinals, that they did not even get the chance to perform it. I don't think that should happen again next year, for sure.
It should not. Fair. And I think it won't. I can share some insider information here. I was told by someone who works, with the production, that this year, like, I asked them straight up, why the hell do we need these quarterfinals and 40?
I have the answer.
Even
they said, at least
they said the theories. Yeah.
They said that it was because last year people complained so much that God knows what many songs were sacrificed in the rounds and we did not get to hear them. And this year they said, okay, you know what, people, let me tell you what songs there are, and let me show you what a really low quality there is. And I'm just like, is that shutting up the people trying to win Eurovision? Priorities. What are the priorities here?
But you know what, Sean? I felt like there was a third aspect that is fundamental, especially for a for-profit company. The ads. Last year, MESC was the most watched show of the year, according to a press release by TVM that I remember. And so they thought of extending it to more nights to increase the ad revenue. So it was a win-win situation for them.
I honestly am a fan. I'm a fan and I love to watch everything Eurovision. But this year I was like so bored and so fed up of everything that I couldn't even care for it at times. I was like, I have to watch it because I have to watch it, because I'm like that person that watches everything when it comes to Eurovision. But I was over it. But then again, it just creates a really bad experience to the people taking part and to people watching it. Because we're like, this is what we have to offer. I think what I think should happen is that the production team should reach out to people in the industry that are producers or upcoming producers and stuff like that, and tell them, listen, work with these artists, try to come up with something, together, and bring us some magic, because clearly you're working with people with no freaking direction that are going to people like, hi, I want to be a singer. Okay, we'll give you the shit song. 500 euros. I don't think that is fair on people taking part with no direction.
Absolutely. Can we just manifest, like, before I say this, we did not talk about Chris Gregg. Any comments? I personally don't mind it, but he's a metal singer and he should be singing a metal song, and he would win MALTA EUROVIsion.
Remember when he had
Never walk away.
Oh my God, insane. Like, the guy actually looks good. He's freaking hot. I can imagine him sweating and singing his heart out. And this year, it was just like, I know Chris is a good singer, but he's just a filler. Like, I'll probably go pee while he's singing, you know? Sorry.
He has an 80s ballad this year.
Harsh. That's harsh.
Listen, you're not harsh when you're sitting next to me. Don't worry.
No, but I really like him. I really like him. It's just
I
like
like him as well.
it's just like the same thing as Giada. Not the right song for the person and the image.
I agree with you guys, actually. What I wrote in my notes was that he was trying maybe to go for the Rag and Bone Man style with, you know, the raspy vocals and that type of vibe. And then the song turned out to be an 80s ballad, which was completely mismatched, in my opinion, from the artistic personality that he conveyed.
What did you tell me about the song title?
Indescribable?
Yeah.
I said that what did I say? I don't remember.
You said it's describable.
Yeah. And that's my description. There were 3 lines about it. And I have to tell you something more. You know, the international fan vote on MESC that I mentioned earlier, with nearly 100 people taking part, this one is the last place out of 40 songs.
Wow. And can you tell us the top 5?
Of course. Only for the finalists or including everyone?
Do both.
Okay. So I'll tell the top 10, like overall. So we have Up at number 10. Then Gratitude at number 9. Number 8 is Sciallegria. Number 7, with my 12 points, Cherry Balzan. Number 6 is Nathan. Number 5, Maxim Patch. Number 4 is Aiden. And then the top 3 is, well, I will announce it Eurovision style. So 8 points to Guess What, Eliana Gomez Blanco. 10 points to Brooke Checkmate. And 12 points, and Sean will be very happy to hear that it goes to the Busker.
Yeah!
That's the favorite, but with a very close margin from Brooke.
Wow.
It's not my favorite, but I agree that it's Malta's best choice.
I love how Sciallegria was mentioned in this poll.
Number 9.
And this, now I know this
was my 4th.
I know this is not the best example, but this is going to be one of those songs like last year we had Aphrodisiac of Jessica. That is going to be played everywhere, as cringy as it was, because the live performance was crap with a capital C. It was crap. The high note was crap. I love her to bits, but it was crap.
She's a massive Eurovision fan as well.
But the song, guys, was so good. I played it at my hen's party, my wedding, every chance I could. I play it. I love it. And that is the same vibe I get with Sciallegria. But on a different note, Sciallegria live, she sounded really good.
Mm-hmm.
She was well sung, yeah.
And she conveyed Allegria as well.
I love it.
I hope we get to see Maria De Bono again, because I genuinely think that even the replies she gives, like, I don't know, like on the final quarterfinal when no one sang and they announced the finalists, again, like she just gives these non-generic replies that I'm like, yes, bravo, we need more personalities like this. I want to close off with just saying this. We're all Eurovision fans here, and I wish TVM had the opportunity to give people like us the ability to just make an input, because I genuinely think that with these 3 heads on these 3 screens, it could be so much better for Malta. And
they are a know-it-all type of character. They would never. They are not, because I actually speak to people in the production and say, example, what the hell are those photos? What the hell are those snippets?
The foil.
The foil, no, man. The freaking retro vibe filter they try to go with, and they make people look like shit. But they don't care because they think they know it all. And I hate it when people are like that. Not even I know it all. No one knows it all. But having different opinions can create something magical. And that is why we lack in certain things, because we think that using the same people can work. And no.
But on one hand, I have to congratulate Malta, a country without a real music industry in the end. There's no music industry association there. 500,000 people, and yet they came up with 40 songs and a whole show like to select the best one. This is actually admirable, in my opinion. Like, not many other countries do the same.
Are they really songs, though, the whole 40? No, there's someone crying. They're crying.
I know,
I think, George, you speak from a San Marino perspective because they would never.
But in San Marino, there's 80 songs, but none of them is from San Marino.
None of them are San Marinese. And it was a great production. I will say the songs are not, we've talked about it, but I think the live production elevates, and I think that is, if there's something that we can be proud of, I think it's what we do live. I mean, budget-wise, and we are tiny and we have a small broadcaster. I think it's really to be commendable. So if anyone is watching from PBS, we've said something positive. So hire us, and I guarantee qualifications.
We know what we're doing. We understand.
Exactly. I'm here for international input, and please put those songs on Spotify as soon as possible. Those singers deserve some revenue for their hard work.
As if anyone would listen to those songs anyway.
I would listen to all of them on Spotify and not on YouTube.
Guys, thank you so much for this fantastic time we spent talking about
this.
Malta
Was
Eurovision.
Really good,
Thank you guys.
It was fun
for a long time.
Oof. Valentina, thank you so much for coming once again, and I would like to publicly invite you to any Eurovision live stream we will have in the future.
My pleasure. So, message me. I am one crazy person, but I will make time for Eurovision anytime.
I'm so glad, and I'm glad you had fun. How was it?
I loved it. I mean, again, I'm speaking to people that love Eurovision as much as I do, and I'm speaking to people who are highly opinionated about certain things, which clearly we get it because we're on the same page. So I enjoyed actually conversating with you guys on specific things and mutually agreeing together about the topics. I hope it's the same from your end.
Yeah, of course.
Invited.
You're very charismatic. I loved it.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for interacting with us. We have loved your comments, and feel free to like this video if you did like it. Do subscribe to my channel. I give very honest criticism, and you get to see lovely people like these on my channel. So hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss any of our content. Thank you so much. Have a lovely evening. الليلة طيبة. Bye bye.
الليلة طيبة.